Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tip. My name is Julian, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the St. Louis Blues. We're going to be breaking down their players, if I think you should draft those players in your upcoming fantasy hockey draft. Before we get started, guys, please leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Would really appreciate it. Trying to hit at least 1,000 subscribers this year, so every subscription really helps, guys. Thank you so much. And now, without further ado, let's jump into what I project the St. Louis Lions to look like this year. So based on what I've seen, these are going to be the lines. Top line, David Perron, O'Reilly, Kyrou. Second line, Saad, Robert Thomas, and Tarasenko. Third line, Kostin, Schenn, and Buchnevich. On defense, we got Krug, Faulk, Scandella, Parayko, Mikkola, and Bortuzzo. And in nets, we have Binnington and Husso. So first on my list, guys, the guy who's being drafted the highest on the Blues is Ryan O'Reilly. And I have him as a so-so draft pick. And don't get me wrong, I don't hate Ryan O'Reilly, right? I'm not stupid. I think Ryan O'Reilly is an amazing player. And I do think that he has really good value here if you need both face-off wins and plus minus. In both those things, you should do very well. If you don't, center position is something that you don't have to draft as early as Ryan O'Reilly's being drafted. You can draft a centerman way later in the draft, like a Sean Couturier, who's going to have a very similar point total to Ryan O'Reilly. If you really want someone from the Blues, I would draft David Perron a few rounds later, who's not locked in as center, has left wing and right wing eligibility, and is on a line with Ryan O'Reilly, so he should get pretty much the same amount of points as O'Reilly does. Next is Jordan Binnington, and I think he has a nice bounce back season this year. He wasn't that bad last year, but he didn't get any shutouts, and he won less than half the games that he played, which is not amazing. But I do think St. Louis is going to be a little bit better of a team this year, and Binnington is going to continue to see like the vast majority of the starts in St. Louis because Husso, not a great backup, only going to see the back-to-back games in all likelihood. So I really like Binnington this year for that reason. Next is Torey Krug, and I think he has a very safe floor this year. I mentioned this in my top 50D video. I think he's going to hit 50 points fairly easily this year. He's going to be locked in on that Blues top power play with David Perron, with Ryan O'Reilly. He's going to have a fairly easy route to 50 points. Should shoot the puck a good amount too. A very safe pick if you want a defenseman in the top 100 picks of your draft. And next is David Perron. And if you guys have watched almost any of my videos, you guys know that I absolutely love David Perron. He's a super underrated player, and the guy got over a point per game last year. And his shooting percentage is not like it was super high. Like 12.6 is something that is sustainable. He's playing with Ryan O'Reilly, and he's going to continue to play with O'Reilly on that top line and on that top power play. How could he do that much worse, right? Like he has given the perfect deployment, and he was going to continue to shoot the puck a lot, which gives him a safe floor. So I really like Perron this year once again. Next is Brayden Schenn, and last year had only 36 points in 56 games, which is on pace for only a 53-point season. And last year he arguably had a better line than this year. This year he's on the third line in St. Louis. I'm not super high about that. Like he's with Buchnevich, which is good, and he's also going to get second power play time, which is fine, but I don't really anticipate him doing better than he did last year, right? 53 points is not worth an ADP of 107. It's just not. If you're in a bangers league, a league where hits count, then he's a little bit more valuable because he does hit a fairly decent amount. But even then, there's probably some better options at the same ADP. I'm staying away from Brayden Schenn this year, unfortunately. Next is Vladimir Tarasenko, the Tarasenko show. Last year had 14 points in 24 games, and he's dealt with some serious injuries over the past few seasons. Those injuries seem to finally be behind him. He had a special kind of surgery that was not with the team's doctors. And it was the team's doctors that apparently were screwing him over, and that's why he wanted to trade. Seems to be fully healthy now, and he should be able to stay fully healthy the whole season. He's going to get top power play time, going to get second line time, and I don't mind drafting Tarasenko where he's going at 114 because his ceiling is pretty high. Next is Pavel Buchnevich, and I see a lot of people drafting Buchnevich expecting him to produce like he did last year. Well, he's on a new team, And I don't think it's possible for him to produce like he did last year with his current deployment. Remember, last year he was on the top line with Mika Zibanejad. This year he's on the third line with Brayden Schenn. Brayden Schenn's good, but that's a significant downgrade. Now, do I think he's going to be terrible? No, I don't think he's going to be terrible. He's still going to be on the Blues' second power play, which should get a decent amount of power play time. And Schenn isn't some scrub, but I think there may be some better options where Buchnevich is being drafted, and that's why I'm staying away from him this year. Next is Justin Faulk. And someone commented on my top 50 defenseman video, hey, you snubbed Faulk from this video. And you know what? It got me thinking. I think I did. Justin Faulk could easily have snuck into the end of that video. Faulk's peripherals are what makes him valuable. He may not produce offensively like he did last year with his 25 points in 56 games. He's not going to get that pace again, though. What he is going to get is decent peripherals. He shoots the puck just about twice a game. He hits a very nice amount, and he blocks a fair amount of shots as well. With the Blues being a decent team, his plus-minus should be pretty decent as well. So if you need a guy just to help you with different peripherals for a categories league, or even leagues where those peripherals count for points, Justin Faulk is not a bad pick where he's currently going in the draft in terms of defensemen. Next is Colton Parayko, and he's constantly overrated as a guy who could potentially produce offense. He's never been put really in a position where he can really produce offensively. His block shots numbers are nice though. He hits about once a game and shoots about twice a game. So if peripherals are what you're after, obviously I prefer Justin Faulk, but I don't mind Colton Parayko either, and I don't hate drafting him deep in drafts. Next is Brandon Saad, and I don't mind Brandon Saad's line, but I don't think he's going to get a lot of power play time. And remember, these stats that you see on the screen are not even that great, and you can see that his shooting percentage was incredibly inflated, 22.2. No one could sustain that, and that was with a stacked Colorado team. I think he'll do okay for St. Louis, but I don't think he's draftable in the majority of leagues. He's not going to put up the numbers that you think he will. Next is Jordan Kyrou, and last year he took a huge step. He had a big start to the season, and then kind of faded out. He had one less point, though, than Brayden Schenn in one less game. And Brayden Schenn's being drafted real early, whereas Kyrou's not being drafted in the vast majority of leagues, 91% of leagues. Kyrou right now is slated to play top line and top power play. I think that's just a deployment that he needs that can spark him again. We saw how good he could be at the beginning of the season last year. In super deep leagues, and I mean very deep, like 18 to 20 people, I'm throwing a late round pick at Jordan Kyrou, maybe your last pick of the draft. In shallower leagues, I'm keeping a super close eye on him. Don't be surprised if he appears on my very first waiver wire video, because the dude could break out this year. Next is Robert Thomas. No, not that Robert Thomas. He's another guy that I'm quite excited about. He's shown flashes of greatness in the past. Right now, he's practicing on the second line and the second power play. I mean, I'd like to see him shoot the puck a little more, but he could have a real nice breakout season this year. There's no need to draft him in any leagues right now, but he is playing alongside Tarasenko, and that could potentially spark him to have a pretty decent year. So he's a guy to pay attention to once the season begins. And that's it, guys. You've reached the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. Please leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Hope you guys enjoyed the content, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.